Everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I have a project that would be ideal to give on Valentine's Day. However, it could be for any occasion, and it's this gift box. Now, at first glance, it might look like just an ordinary 4x4 gift box, but it actually is an explosion gift box. And not only is it an explosion gift box, as you'll see when I lift the lid, it is an explosion gift box with drawers. And these little drawers are quite roomy and have plenty of room to fill with sweets, chocolates, jewelry, all kinds of gifts. There's even room in the middle to place another little box or a gift. And I'll close this up and you can see again how it goes together. It's really not difficult to make at all. It will take a little bit of time for, the cutting of the mats and the various pieces, but once you get going, it's going to take no time at all to put together. And if you stick with me, I'll show you how. I have made this explosion box with drawers before, but in that instance it was a little more complicated as far as the cutting goes, and I think this one that I'm going to show you today is a lot simpler. So we're going to start with a 12 by 12 inch piece of cardstock. This is American Craft cardstock, and I'm going to score it first of all at 4 inches, right, and at 8 inches, and then simply rotate it and score it again at 4 inches and at 8 inches. Okay, so we've got these 9 squares here. Now for the next step, we want to leave it in the scoreboard, and starting here at this center box here, we're going to score at 6 7/8. So that would be 1/8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 7/8. We're going to score, but we're going to score only to that score line. That score line here, this one here, and stop. Turn it, and again score at 6 7/8 to that first score line. Repeat it on the remaining 2 sides, those score lines, 6 7/8. And that's all the scoring done until we get to the lid. To cut this out, I'm going to show you with my pencil here. On all 4 corners, these squares are coming out, but not only the square, but this little rectangle next to it is also coming out. So I'm going to take those out on each side so that just these smaller rectangles remain. So, getting my scissors out, I'm going to cut down this score line here. And then on this side, that score line. And you could save these for other projects. Okay. Next is to come to this side. And again, we're going to take the square and the adjoining small rectangle. So that's going to come out in its entirety. Now I'll just carry on and do the other 2 sides. The center space here is what's going to show once when you open the box up. So I'm going to decorate that with a piece of paper that I have got from the first edition Making Memories paper pad. It's one of the single-sided pieces. This measures 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I've chosen this cardstock, which again is from the American Craft, and I've got my pieces here. I'm going to need 4 of each of these. So we've got, for the holder for the drawers, 4 cut at 4 by 8 1/4 inches. And for the drawers themselves, 6 1/16 by 4 3/4. So those measurements again are 6 1/16 by 4 3/4 and 4 by 8 1/4. For these, which are the holders, I'm going to score on the long side at 2 3/4, at 3 7/8, at 6 5/8, and at 7 3/4. And for the drawer itself, which is the 6 1/16 by 4 3/4, and we have a visitor. Hello, Chloe. This is scored at 1 1/16 on all sides. I do not know of any scoreboard that actually has 1/16 of an inch on it. That would be, I mean, these would be absolutely minute. So this does have 1/8. So in order to get it to the 1/16, what I'm going to do is just, I might have to pull this up for you. You can see, just actually pull it over just a smidge, really, and that will be between these two marks would be 1/16. So I'm just going to pull it over just a little bit, and that gives me about that 1/16 that I'm going to need. And I'm just going to score them this at 1 inch, because that is my 1/16. Okay, so score that at 1 inch. Okay, turn it. Again, pull it out just a little bit. Score again. A little bit out. And score again. And pull it out and score again. There. So that's how we're going to score the elements for the drawers, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3 now. Bring these back in, and for the sleeves, or the holders for the drawer, all we need to do is actually fold and burnish those score lines, and we will decorate them next. And for the drawers, do the same. There will be some cutting on this that needs to be done. And for this, going to cut down the score line here. This one, and that one. So what we're going to do is to have the square on your right, cut up the score line, and then cut little tabs out. Okay, so that's your first one. Now take it and just turn it, and do that again with your square, cut into tabs, and that will help make it just a little more stable on a smaller piece like this. The decoration for this, we're only going to decorate one side of it, so I'm going to be putting my glue here on this tab, sticking it down. Okay, so I'm going to leave that as my bottom, wherever the tab is, and this is the side, the top side, which is going to get decorated. So I'm just going to put that there, and I have my piece for that. I'm going to need 4 of these, and these are cut at 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. Okay. And if it had a direction, my pattern isn't going to matter whether, you know, if I put it that way or that way. But if it did, you'll have to keep in mind, I'll show you here, that these are going to be, the drawer's going to stand up in here. So when you open it out, which way would you like your pattern to go? Do you want it to face inward, or do you want it to face outward? So you just need to keep that in mind when you're actually get to the point where you're going to adhere this. So I'll put this down here. Again, this is the same paper pad that I used for that square in the middle. This is first edition Making Memories. This is one of the double-sided ones, and it's this large rectangle nearest to the tab. To place that. Okay. Something else I want to do on the drawer itself is to punch a pull tab here. Just going to use my little circle punch here to go on one of the sides, and about approximately halfway down, just punch a little hole there. And I also want to cover this, so I've decided on a matching piece here. You don't have to do this, this is optional, but this is cut at 7/8 by 2 5/8, so 7/8 by 2 5/8, and I can just sort of place that there and get an idea where to punch that again. Hold on to that. Could actually put it, I might do that, I might just go ahead and glue it in place. It's such a small piece that you don't have to be really precise with it, but glue that in place, and then I'll go back with my punch. I'm not leaving a huge border there, so I don't have to worry about the position. So, just matching that back up again, taking a small bit out. Okay, that is our decoration for our boxes. You could, if you wanted to decorate these sides. I'm not going to do that in this case, but I mean, that is always an option, and you might want to see how it's all going to come together when you make that decision. So now we're going to glue these together. For this, all we need to do is place some adhesive. You could use double-sided tape, red liner tape I should say, here, or in my case I'm just going to use the glue. Just going to fold it flat like that and pull the other side over. And take the bone folder and press that glue so it comes all the way to the edges there. And give that a moment to dry, and I can do the box itself. And that again is just a matter of putting glue on these 4 tabs. We've angled them a little bit so that they will not protrude from the top. Make sure that that is all joined up here. And go back in with bone folder, press that in. Again, you could just use double-sided tape for this. And I'll do all these remaining sides. Slide our drawer into our sleeve, and there is the first of the boxes made. Right, I'm going to make the other 3 boxes now, and then we'll go on to the next step. And there are our 4 boxes finished. Those are the sleeves for now. I'm going to move on to the lid, and for that I have this piece which is 6.5 by 6.5, and we're going to score it using that same little trick we used before of moving it over. Now what you could do if you wanted to, you could actually take your ruler if it has a 1/16 inch markings and actually mark it there and then just line it up to one of the score lines. The other thing you could do is take a pencil and mark where your 1/16 are. But I'm just going to use that same method of moving it over and then scoring it. For this, we're going to score it at 1¼ inches on all 4 sides. So I've moved that out, and I'm going to score it 1 1/4. Move it again, and score it at 1 1/4. And this is so that this lid is not going to be the same as the base, so that it can actually close. So 1 1/4, and again 1 1/4. And the cutting of this is going to be the same as we did for the drawer. So I'm going to fold and burnish it. And then with that tab to the right, cut up and take a wedge out, and then rotate it and do exactly the same on this side and the other two sides. And for the outside of the lid, I've got this piece. It's the same as we cut before. This is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to glue that down. And for the sides, I've just cut some of this cardstock. I could use another pattern paper or the same here, but I just chose to use these. And these, you'll need 4 of these, which are cut at 1 1/8 by 3 7/8. And they will go onto the sides. For the inside of the lid, this is just an option. I have this little piece left from a project I did the other day. This is from that Debbie Moore kit, and I thought, why not? Let's just put it in here. This would measure 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I haven't even measured this because it's just an offcut, but I'm not worried about it being precise. I think it is a little bit smaller. I think it's about, yeah, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So, but that's fine because it's got this red around it anyway. Just thought that might make a nice little finishing touch there on the inside. And now we can glue in these tabs as we did before, making sure that they come together at the corners. They meet up. Just hold it there for a minute to give it time to grab, and I can move on to the other 4 sides. I have this sentiment and this little heart embellishment, which I have already backed with some foam squares. I'm going to place these on the top, starting with this little one here, and just put a bit of glue on there as well to give it a little more security. There we are. And I'm going to put that about there. And then for the sentiment, I'm going to place that down down. Again, using just a little bit of glue. And decide where I want it. And then I'll press it into place. So have it about like that. That's fine. And then press it into place. And finally, I have some of these little pearls here. These are adhesive back, but I am going to also put them down with some glue. I think I'll put one here on this. And see if we can get that. Oh, there we are. Give it a little bit of pressure. Okay, and I put another here, and got that rose up there, so I think I might put this one down in here somewhere. There we are. This is where our drawers are going to go, and we want to place them so that the opening is to the outside, because otherwise it would be really difficult to get in and pull them open. So now they're going to get glued down, and making sure that we don't go past the score lines here. To complete your explosion gift box, put your drawers in, and then fill them with your gifts. Be chocolates, sweets, anything you desire. Even, as I'll show you here, I've got some little jewelry bits, which could fit in there quite easily. A lot of room in those little drawers, you can see. Could even put something in the center, like a little gift like this, or even a tiny little box. You could fit something like that inside, and then your sides are going to fold up like so, and your lid will fit over. See this red and pink contrast on the sides. You could decorate this with more pattern papers. You could decorate these sides, but I would recommend, if you're going to do that, to do it before you actually put it together, because it is a lot less fiddly. So there you have your explosion gift box. Open that up one more time. Drawers will all down into place. Room for a little gift there, as I said, if you would like. And just take that away for now. Close it up again for you, because these are off-centered. They will fold now up into a cube, and then you can put your lid in place. Joining me for this video tutorial on the explosion gift box. I hope you'll give it a try yourself and treat your Valentine this year. Or you don't have to have it for Valentine's Day, it can be for any occasion. And I hope you'll join me again for another video tutorial very soon. Thank you for coming. Bye, and crafty hugs.